Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me on another video. This is Quita from At Home with Quita, and in today's video, it's going to be all about meal planning, my meal planning process, how I meal plan for the week, and hopefully that will give you guys some inspiration to maybe start implementing more meal planning in your life. It is my favorite part of planning. I absolutely adore meal planning, cooking, all of that good stuff is just my thing. So that's what we're doing today. But first, if you're new here, I hope that you'll stick around and consider subscribing, and also give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. So let's jump into my meal planning process and meal plan for the week. If you want to see that, make sure to keep watching. All right, y'all, so as you know, especially if you've been here for a while, I love meal planning. I love meal prep. I love cooking. All of that stuff is just so near and dear to my heart. And so within my catch-all planner, that is where I have my meal planning section. I have a ton of sections here, and I love having everything all in one planner. And so I do have a full meal planning section that has lots of things in here. So I'll kind of walk you through that first, and then we're just going to go for it, and we're going to go ahead and get the meal planning done for next week, which will put me ahead of the game. So this is kind of new to the planner here. Well, not new in general, because I did have this and I was using these for a different purpose. These are available in our shop. They tend to sell out all the time, so I'm constantly trying to keep these restocked. They're just so cool. There's different card slots here, and so this had something different in it, and now it's going to be for my meal planning sample meal plans. And so these meal planning cards are available in the shop. As you can see, they say meal plan, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Sunday. And so you can go ahead and start writing some things in here. And so that way it makes it easy to where you can just pull a card out, you can put it in your week, and you can kind of write in what's already on the card, and you can have basically a sample meal plan rather, and it just makes meal planning easier. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in these cards with some sample meal plans, and I may come back and show you guys how that works out. Of course, I'll take a picture and post it on my Instagram just in case you're interested, but that's why this is here. So this is just basically going to be a work in progress. I'll probably sit down on a Sunday and just do it all at one time, but I went ahead and just kind of rearranged things and put it in my meal planning section. So we do now have the Meal Planner 2021 at a glance. I just finished these recently. We had them last year. I've been having you guys ask me, when are we going to have these back in the shop for 2021? We have the full year at a glance in the shop, which is here in the front of my planner. This is the 2021 year at a glance for just calendar appointments and things like that. And so now we have the 2021 meal planner, same concept. Okay, and so for this is where it's going to start for me. So I'm going to go ahead and write in what we're having this week. I always write it on the dashboard layout. So we're having teriyaki salmon bowl. We were supposed to have collard greens. I'm going to have to change that around. We're going to have collard greens, mac and cheese, and chicken. We're still going to have mac and cheese and chicken, but collard greens are not in stock in my area, so I'm not going to be able to do collard greens. I may do mustard greens, and then Mexican meatloaf. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of that here on the At a Glance. This is where you can come and you can plan your meals out for the whole year if you want, or you can do it by the week here, or you can do it by the whole entire month. So these are fabulous. So I'm going to go ahead and write it in just because I want to make sure that I keep track of this thing for the whole year. That's my plan. So we were supposed to have, and actually I'm a little bit late to the game since these were created so late. We're really starting on the week of, I mean, I technically could write in what we had last week, which I do have in my planner. So I think that's what I'll do. So starting on the 18th is kind of when I started this whole process. So we had 1 pot chicken and rice. So 1 pot chicken. Sometimes I abbreviate, y'all, depending on how much space I need. Mongolian beef we had, y'all, so good. So you guys know, oop, I wrote that in the wrong place. I was supposed to be on Monday. So I cook Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All the other days are leftover days. So that 1 pot chicken and rice would actually be for Monday. Then Wednesday we have Mongolian beef. And then Friday we had teriyaki. We were supposed to have teriyaki salmon sushi bowl, but we ate out. So I'm gonna put out. Okay, so that week is done. And then this week, we are going to have that teriyaki salmon bowl that we're supposed to have on Friday. So Monday. Okay, and then greens Wednesday. And then Friday, Mexican meatloaf. Okay. And remember, the other days are leftover days. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and plan our meals out for next week, which is February 1st through 7th, okay? So when it comes to meal planning, I love to look on Pinterest to find different recipes. I like trying new things. I like to keep it fresh. I tend not to cook the same things every single time, but I do have a family favorites in here. So family favorite recipes, which I'm constantly adding to that. So like we love eggplant parm, which I probably will do actually now that I'm thinking about it. There's a good jerk pork recipe. We love picadillo, meatloaf, stuffed peppers. Those are all things that we love. So if you check my Pinterest, which I will link below, you can go there. I have a group of recipes, or I have a board called Yummo, and that is where I keep all of our family recipes that isn't like diet specific, like keto or anything like that. I do have boards for those as well. And so I tend to just load everything up in there, and then when I get ready to do my menu planning and my meal planning, that is where I'm gonna go to see what we wanna cook for the week. And then I'll also come to family favorites to see what, what I may wanna cook for the week that I know my family's going to love, okay? So that's kind of where I get my ideas from. So in this particular case, now that I see the family favorites here, I know my family loves a good eggplant parm. So I'm going to put that on the list because that's a family favorite. You can't go wrong with that. If you've never had eggplant parm, you must try it. It's so good. Okay, I don't put sides or anything. I just only put the main dish. And then Tuesday again is a leftover day. Wednesday, this is where Pinterest is gonna come into play. I do have my computer here. I will pull out my computer, my phone, or my laptop, or laptop and computer are the same thing, and I'll go into Pinterest and I'll see what may spark my interest in terms of what I want to make for the week. So although I do have my laptop here, I'm going to pull out my phone as well just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So I'll come in to Yummo, and if I'm on keto, I'll go into the keto board. If I'm doing something separate, because sometimes I'm not doing keto right now. I'm supposed to be doing something, but y'all, we're not gonna talk about that, okay? But if I'm doing something separate, I am going to put my menu planning items. If I'm dieting, which I need to be right now, but y'all, we're gonna get our life together. Just, I have to be in the right frame of mind, and I don't know, y'all, what's going on with me. But when I get ready to do my own separate thing, I'm gonna put the family stuff here. I cook separately for them. And then I'm gonna come to my fitness section, and that is where I'm gonna write in what I am having for the week, which is blank right now because I'm not doing anything. But this is where I would write mine at. So I would come in here and write in what I would be eating, and then the dinner recipes for the family would be here. Not lunch and breakfast, none of that stuff goes here. This is only for dinner. Okay, so we are planning again for that first week of February. So I would come into the Yummo board, and I'm very much a visual person, so I'll look and see like what looks good to me. That's why we're gonna have that this week, because that just looks so good to me. And so I'll just kind of look around to see what catches my eye. And there's also lots of family favorites in here as well. It's just, I may not have transferred it onto that list yet. I'm planning on creating a whole menu planner, which I do have in the shop, but I need to revamp it because there's things I want to change about it. But when I do revamp it, it is going to have a place where you can write in family favorites, because I think that's important, because I know that jambalaya, like this is really family favorites all in here. These are all recipes that I've tried before that I know are good. And so I really can't go wrong when I come into here and look for a recipe. So let's see, I know that we are, and I also tried to take into account the fact of, what did we have the previous week? I know that we had Mexican meatloaf, or we're supposed to have Mexican meatloaf this week, something Southern, and then seafood. So I try to like switch it up and maybe do a chicken or a beef or something that I didn't have the previous week. Just a completely different recipe. I try to just keep it fresh if I can. Okay, so I'm looking to see if there's anything in here that I want to try this week. We just had jambalaya, which was so good, by the way. That coconut curry shrimp looks good. Okay, how about this? 1-pot black pepper chicken. That looks really good. My eggplant parmesan is not gonna have any meat in it. It's just gonna have eggplant and cheese and all the things that go with that. So this would be perfect. So, and it's 1 pot, which I love. So 1 pot. All right, so another part of this process that I haven't mentioned yet is that I keep all of the recipe cards in the planner for the week. And so this would have 3 recipe cards in here for whatever I'm cooking for that particular week. That's why you see this Mexican meatloaf in here. And so I need to go ahead and do one for, if I don't have one, I do have a whole separate meal planner. And if I don't have it in here, I have it in my recipe keeper. I have a whole recipe keeper here. This has all of the recipes. As you can see, some recipe cards there. We've got this little pouch here, which has all the photos for different recipe cards I need to plan for. We have some sample meal plans already done here. And we just have a whole ton of recipe cards in here. So I'll come here first, I'll pull the recipe out, I'll put all 3 in my planner just so I have them readily available to me. If I don't have a recipe card for it, that is where I create one. So I know that I don't have one for the eggplant parmesan, the 1 pot, or the 1 pot black pepper chicken. I'm not gonna make one for eggplant parmesan because I know that recipe by heart. I make it so often that I really don't need a recipe card for it, but eventually I will create one because, as you guys know, I am going to hand down my recipe keeper to Addison, and that way she'll have it for her family. So I have a whole Happy Planner recipe keeper that you guys have seen over the years that I have a ton of recipes in. I'm working to transition them out of there and into my new recipe keeper with Fancy Plans co-inserts. So eventually it's going to be all in here. So again, if I look in there and I don't see a recipe card, I'm going to pull 3 blank ones out so I can plan for those recipes and keep them in here. And that way I have all 3 recipes in here that I'm cooking for the week. If I need to reference them, then they'll be in my planner. And so I need to create one for sure, the 1 pot black pepper chicken. And the process for that would be I would go in here and look at the recipe. I need to get a photo of it. I have a Canon selfie printer, and I will print out the photo to put on the recipe card, and then I'll go into the recipe, of course, and make it. So I would just take a screenshot and I would go into the Project Life app and I would put it on, you know, a grid so that way I could print them out in the right size. I may still need to trim it, and then I'll go ahead and glue it to the recipe card, and then I'll go ahead and plan for it before that week comes up. So that would be another part of the process. So for the sake of time, we're not going to do that. You can check out my channel. I have a whole bunch of videos on my whole entire meal planning process in terms of that part of the process as well. So 1 pot black pepper chicken is something that we're going to be cooking. And then again, we're looking for 1 more recipe here. I'm kind of thinking that I want to do something slow cooked or maybe a burger. Let's see, because we're doing a chicken. Ooh, how about some, I was thinking about some fried fish, but I don't know if I'm really in the mood for that this week. And I'm thinking maybe, let's see, because I don't want to do a pasta because I'm doing a pasta. The eggplant parmesan is kind of considered a pasta. I think maybe some tacos. Okay, I think I'm gonna do these Bang Bang shrimp tacos. I saw the recipe in the board somewhere, but let me just look up. Yeah, you could easily also just look it up if you are not sure where it is on the board. But this is from Bonefish, and I'm just gonna save it just so I have it, just in case I don't have it. But Bang Bang shrimp is so awesome. So we'll do Bang Bang shrimp. And I try to do these type of recipes on a Friday because then it feels like you're eating out. And so that'll be perfect. So eggplant parmesan, 1 pot black pepper chicken, and Bang Bang shrimp. So now that I've done that, I need to figure out what I need for those recipes. So let's go ahead and put this back in here. And we're not going to pull the recipe cards just yet because we are still technically in this week. So I want to only have the recipe cards from the current week that we're in. And so on Sunday, which is typically when I do my recipe keeping and meal planning, I'm just doing it a little bit early for this video. But typically on a Sunday, I would sit down and do all of this. And that is when I would pull the recipe cards and do everything else. All right, so now that we know what we're making, I am going to pull out a shopping list because we need to go ahead and write in all of the ingredients. Now, I could also go to my calendar and my planner if I would like, and I can write in what we're having in this little spot here on the dashboard layout, which is what I use. But I'm not going to do that because I can just refer here on Sunday. I can just come here to the 2020 meal planner at a glance and what I said that we were having for that week. And I'm going to tuck this shopping list right here within that section. So we need to go into these recipes individually and we need to see what we need to buy. And then I also at this time will write in any additional things that we need for the household. So this copycat bonefish grill Bang Bang shrimp is so good. It's really good at bonefish. I'm not sure, if bonefish is all over the place, but here in our area, we have a bonefish, which is really good, nice and swanky, and it's just a really good recipe. So I'm just glad that they have a copycat recipe, and I've made this before, and it tastes pretty much just like it. Okay, so we're gonna need shrimp, of course. It says Miracle Whip, and let me just say this also. The right way to menu plan is to go into your pantry and see what you have on hand. So don't just go for it and then go buy everything. Make sure you go into your pantry, in your refrigerator, in your freezer after you make your list and see what you have on hand and check it off so that way you're not buying things that you don't need. That's the real way to menu plan. Poll your pantry and make sure that you are not ordering things that you don't need. So Miracle Whip and then sweet chili sauce. I know I have some of this on hand. Garlic sauce. Buttermilk. Cornstarch, I know I have on hand. Okay, and it tells me I need peanut oil, but you guys, if I don't have peanut oil, then I'm gonna use regular oil. I'm not gonna buy peanut oil just for this recipe, so keep that in mind as well. I know that we are probably gonna make this into tacos, so I'm gonna need soft shells. Okay, so look, that's all the ingredients you need. And again, since I'm going into my pantry and checking off what I already have on hand, it's going to minimize the items that I actually need. So that is for the Bang Bang shrimp. So now let's go and let's write in what we need for eggplant parmesan, which I know because I just know that recipe. I know I'm gonna need eggplant. I'm going to need tomato sauce. I'm gonna need cheddar, mozzarella, and I'm going to need breadcrumbs. And that's it. Eggplant, tomato sauce, cheddar, mozzarella, breadcrumbs. This is a super easy recipe. I am going to pair it with a salad, so I'm going to get a salad kit. So you want to think about sides as well. And then I'm going to get some dinner rolls. Okay, so we're done with 2 recipes. Look, I try to really be conscious of the cost of things too. I don't just go ham and, I try to really be very aware of how much things are going to cost so I can stay within a certain budget. And our grocery budget is between $150 and $200 a week. Sometimes it's less than that. It just depends on if I have to buy like a lot of household items and things like that, but I try to stay around $150. If I can be less than that, then that's even better. And I have a feeling that this week is going to be less than that because this current week I did all of my big grocery shopping for household items and things like that. I don't really need all that much stuff, so I just feel like this may be even under $150, which is great. So let's find that last recipe. All right, 1 pot black pepper chicken. Remember, I do have to go and take a picture of 2 recipes, this one and then also the bang bang shrimp, and I have to create menu cards for them if I don't have them. So again, that will all be done on Sunday. You won't get to see that part of the process, but at least you know that that is a part of my process, creating those recipe cards, making sure they're in my planner for that week. So this one looks like it's going to be an easy recipe as well. I know I need chicken breast. I need bell, red bell, ginger, it says I need garlic, but I'm not going to write it because I know I have garlic, and I know I have soy sauce, and I believe I have white vinegar, but I'm going to write it just in case. It says coconut, palm sugar, or honey. I know I have honey, and then olive oil I know I have. So that's a really easy recipe as well. I'm gonna go ahead and buy some white rice because I think that would be a good pair to this recipe, rice. So this is everything that I need for the whole week for what we're going to be eating. Again, this isn't household items and any additional things that I may need. This is only for meal planning. That is a great list. This is what I look forward to. Staying on 1 page is ideal for me. Sometimes I go to like 3 pages, and this is like a little more than half of 1 page. So then what I do is I just take that, and again, since I'm doing this ahead of time, I wouldn't typically put it right here. It's only if I'm pre-planning. This would actually go in the week. So I would come here and I would write in what we're having for the week here. And then I will go ahead and snap in this shopping list so I have it in my week. And so because we're doing some advanced, planning, I'll do that on Sunday. In addition to that, remember, just to reiterate it, I'm going to take out my cards. Well, not take out my cards. I'll purge these out and I'll add new ones in based on what I wrote in the meal plan. And then also keep in mind, if I'm doing a sample meal plan for that week, meaning that I'm just going to grab one of these cards, I'm going to say this is what we're having this week. I don't want to think about it. Then I am going to take this and I'm going to probably insert it in my week. I'm going to write it on the 2021 meal planner at a glance, and I'll take it and I'll pin it in here somewhere so that way I see that that's what we're having for the week. And I probably will also go ahead and write it up there just to have it. And so these sample meal plans are going to be great. I will also eventually maybe have additional cards in here with the shopping list. That's really what's going to make it ideal, because then I don't have to think about anything. I just grab the sample meal plan for the week and I already have the grocery list made out. That is going to make life so much easier. So this is how my current week looks with what we're eating. I have my shopping list here. As you see, everything's already checked off because today is Tuesday. I already ordered my groceries. They're already here in house. And so this is the shopping list from the week. That's a pretty good shopping list too. Not that many items, which is what I look for. And sometimes I do have to go to the back of this. In this case, I didn't, which means I can use this for next week. And then I'll come here, I'll write in what we're having for the week there. And then I will make sure that everything is in order here. And it's on the calendar here, which it is, which is great. And then I'll make sure that my recipe cards are in here. Again, we are having this Mexican meatloaf this week, and I need to go ahead and pull the other 2 recipes or write them in if I don't have them, which in this case, I don't believe I do. Also in this section, I do have just random things, like I have some meal planning fill paper. I can use this. If I do, I'll fold it in half because this is our fold out. So I'll fold this in half so that way I can rip this off if I want to. I just use different inserts depending on my mood. I may use this one. I may use the other one you just saw in my week. I may just use the shopping list and just write it in the dashboard layout. It just all depends on how I feel. So these are from the Home Management Expansion Box. This is where we can write in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks because, of course, my kids are digital learning and going to school. It's like a combination of both. Malachi's not, but Addison is. So like today's digital learning. But those days that I have to make lunch for her and snacks and all that stuff, I like to have that prepared. So I like to have different inserts in this section based on what that week is going to look like. But it all starts for me on the 2021 at a glance. it's important for me to come here and write it here first. I like to, if I'm just feeling inspired and I want to go for it, I will just come and write in a whole month full of recipes, and I'll do a whole month full of shopping lists, and then I'll just write in what week that is for or what store that's for, and that way I know what week it corresponds to. It just makes life so much easier. So in addition to just having my catch-all planner and having a meal planner section there, remember I do have a full-on meal planner because I just love meal planning so much. It's only natural that I would have a full-on meal planner working on getting all these recipes in here. If you want to see how my classic happy planner recipe keeper look, make sure to check out my channel. I'm not going to pull it out just because it's just so much. That would make this video turn into like an hour-long video. We don't want that. But sometimes I'll come here and just pop the photo in, and then I'll plan for it later. And the photos are housed in here. There's a ton of photos in there that still need to be planned for. There's also some recipe cards and things like that, or some meal planning cards and things like that in there. So I just kind of keep everything in here, and then I'll transfer it from here into my catch-all planner into the recipe card section. I also have, these are new to our shop, they are linen recipe cards. So I'll come here for, if I want to just take the whole recipe card out and pop it in my planner. Just all depends on how I feel that week. But I love having access to different types of media in terms of planning meal plans out and making sure that I'm on track with what we're eating for that week. So that's how I meal plan, y'all. It's a pretty simple process. It works for us. I love it. And that is how I meal plan. So hopefully that helped you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We are all planned out for next week. I'm feeling good about it. And remember to check out my Pinterest if you have any interest in kind of getting some recipe ideas. And let me know if you, again, have any questions. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you stopping by my channel to catch another video. I'm so glad I was able to do this for you guys today, show you my meal planning process, and then stay ahead of the game. That's what it's all about. So I appreciate you again for stopping by. Hopefully you'll come back and catch another video, in which case I'll see you guys then.